This is suspicious.
Poetic Flacco, baby. Here we
reported
go.
last week that prison officials put a hit out on R. Kelly. And we ran through a 40-minute video.
They trying to unalive Kales, though? For what?
Who did it and why? Everybody called us crazy. Approximately a week later, we learned today that R. Kelly just had an overdose due to a mistake that prison officials made with his medication. You can't make this up, people. And the details surrounding the overdose is even more
crazy.
Okay, so this news is actually breaking right now. Shout out to Brawl Alert, who was the first outlet that we saw actually.
But do you feel sorry,
last
though?
night, R. Kelly's team filed
an
emergency filing. I received the
for
filing a little bit after midnight, so I believe that's why it's breaking right now, is because outlets are waking up. So in the emergency filing, they allege that R. Kelly was giving an additional dose of medication by prison staff, and they're alleging that because of that additional medication that he was instructed to take and that he actually took, he suffered a overdose.
I know what you're thinking. Man, Kel's trying to set himself to the upper room to get out of prison.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, he just trying to get out of jail free card. But they talking about the man almost unalive.
However, bro, when you look at the details, they are very strict.
Yeah, if you ever been locked up, they stand right there while you take the medicine. You got to hold your mouth open. In front of them. And they control the dose. You know what I mean?
So there's no way that Kels could have manipulated this to give himself an intentional overdose. It's just not possible. And then also you look at the surrounding factors. R. Kelly got wind that the BOP officers were trying to kill him 3 days after he was given access to 13,000.
They talking about multiple attempts on his life, like
revealing who the officers were that illegally accessed his information and sold it to the media when he was behind bars. That's a criminal offense. Those officers on that 13,000 pages, they could go to jail.
Look at him.
And then 3 days after R. Kelly got that information, he found out they trying to murder him. They trying to hire inmates to get him out of here. And then 2 days after he came to the media about discovering the ploy to murder him in prison, he accidentally overdosed after one of the BOP officers gave him medication that apparently was a dosage too high. At some point, we got to put our thinking caps on and say, okay, bruh, there's clearly something nefarious going on here. Obviously, bruh. Obviously. Now, the dosage was not where they stopped at.
There's more. Hold on.
This wasn't where they stopped at in this ploy to murder R. Kelly, bruh. Because even after they made him overdose, when he went to the hospital, the doctors discovered something that could potentially be fatal to R. Kelly, a condition.
They Buck Rogers.
And the prison officials said, let him die. Don't operate on him. Yo, these people are sick.
So they say that he woke up, R. Kelly woke up allegedly on June 13th, and he felt faint. He was dizzy. He started to see black spots. He got up and he fell. He crawled to the door of the cell and he lost consciousness then. At that point, he was placed on a gurney. He was taken by ambulance to a nearby hospital because they tried to take him to the hospital inside of or associated with the facility that he's in, but they couldn't help him, so they took him to an outside hospital. In that outside hospital, on the way to the outside hospital, his team alleges that it was overheard. Someone in the ambulance from the hospital say this is going to open a whole new can of worms. R. Kelly's legal team then alleges that once he got to the hospital, it was then revealed that he had been giving an overdose quantity of medicine. He was in the hospital for some days, and this was within 2 days of that original filing where his legal team is alleging that prison officials are trying to take him out of here. Now, they say in addition to this incident, this overdose, right, they're also pointing to the fact that R. Kelly allegedly has been asking for months to get some medical attention to a swollen leg.
R. Kelly's he in the worst conditions.
Once he was taken to the hospital for this overdose situation, R. Kelly brought up the swollen leg, and they allege that doctors there then took a look at the swollen leg and they found blood clots in R. Kelly's right leg, allegedly, in his left leg, in his lungs, allegedly. And R. Kelly's legal team is saying that R. Kelly was then told he should stay 7 days in that hospital for surgery, and then it would be an additional 2 weeks because of whatever care they were going to need to give him. But his legal team alleges that once the prison was contacted, R. Kelly was then removed against his will by guards from the prison and was not allowed to be treated. And they are saying that basically this could kill him because of the blood clots and the care that they are alleging he is not receiving.
I understand. This is a tricky situation. R. Kelly is a despicable human being. R. Kelly has done things that nobody can co-sign. So if you hear that they're trying to fast track R. Kelly to send him to the upper room or down below, you don't care because he is being accused of doing things to the most vulnerable people in our society. I understand completely, and I'm not gonna fault you for that.
That's what I was saying earlier in the video. Like,
I'm somebody where I probably feel the same way as you.
However, is everybody mad? Like that this
something nefarious going on here, huh? I ain't never heard the jail tell the doctors, "Hey, bruh, this man could potentially die. He got blood clots. Don't matter. Release him. We don't want what."
Something's amiss here.
After trying to overdose him, after being accused of trying to hire two men to murder him. At what point do we say, yeah, bro?
And the police like, get him out of here.
Like, something in them 13,000 pages of receipts that R. Kelly got on prison officials that they don't want the public to see. Because if you guys know, the Washington Journal got sold R. Kelly commissary information.
It's going down. It's going down.
Tasha Kerr received R. Kelly's emails, visitor logs, call logs, and she published that. And that, in turn, got R. Kelly's girlfriend to turn against him once she found out R. Kelly was cheating on her from behind bars. And then she testified against R. Kelly.
Who has that information, though? Who?
So, clearly something nefarious, clearly something criminal took place here. There's criminal conduct that affects over 60 correctional officers. Over 60.
Makes sense.
This is going to be one of the biggest jail busts I think we've ever witnessed in the history of jails. Over 60 correctional officers were involved in a ring of stealing R. Kelly's information and selling it to the media. And R. Kelly finally has access to that information, and then all of a sudden,
60 correctional officers,
we see multiple attempts on his life.
Involved in leaking this man information.
Hey, bruh, that man got blood clots, let him die.
And now that he got the information, they're going to try to dive on his neck.
Again, we
on my soul, that's crazy.
Charges in his history.
They finna dive all on.
Is it right?
Boy.
Do he deserve a fair chance at the justice system? I'm torn. I'm conflicted. Because if you just told me person A, John Doe.
That's the question. And then the other question is why? Like, why do y'all want this man dead if it ain't got nothing to do with the 13?
And then you showed me the same charges R. Kelly got it. You showed me John Doe got those same charges. I would say, man, rot in hell, bro. I could give a damn. I could care less, bro. Man, what? They trying to overdose him? Good. Do it again. That would be my take. So I understand how much of a hypocrite I am.
Get him out of here.
And maybe it's just hard to detach the emotions that R. Kelly's music gave. That I still think R. Kelly is a garbage human being, and I really don't care for him that much. But do I believe he deserves to die under nefarious circumstances? I'm still torn.
Much Kelly as we listen to coming up, man, I never thought we'd be here.
Who violates the most vulnerable people in our society. But this is tough.
Now, they do say that all of this can be proven. They say that the things with him getting to solitary confinement and taking that district medicine allegedly will be on prison cameras.
Can you really be mad?
They say on prison cameras you will see R. Kelly arrive to solitary confinement. When you arrive there, because he takes medicines already for anxiety and sleep and other things, you have to show your medicine to guards, which they say is on camera. And then they say you will see the additional medicine brought to R. Kelly on camera as well.
Taking the meds, I guess.
And that the stuff at the hospital with the clots and not being treated, all of those accusations they say can also be proven via hospital records. So they filed this emergency motion trying to bring light to this to the same court that they are saying, hey, all this other stuff is happening. We're telling you he needs to be released because it is not safe.
But why does R. Kelly and his team feel like the feds are trying to kill him? Because he's not coming out.
And at the same time, his lawyers trying to get him up out of there.
2045, he received 30 years in federal prison. So why does he think they're killing him? What does R. Kelly know that makes the feds want to kill him?
So, according to R. Kelly's legal team in the first filing, and they
Like
reiterated
in
in this
2050.
one,
You feel
their
me?
whole plot to uncover the fact that there were things that were done wrong when it came
He
to
got to know
talking about,
something.
like the flipping of the witnesses.
That's
and all
all
these
I'm
things they're alleging
saying. For them
happened.
to come for him
Basically,
like
they're
this.
saying the government and the prison officials have been covering up the fact that they did whatever they needed to do to convict R. Kelly allegedly, and his new legal team, in trying to file for other things, discovered that and brought it in a plan to bring it to light, and they found out. So this is all a way to cover that up. That is what R. Kelly's team is alleging.
Is it just me, or wasn't there a videotape of R. Kelly having with an underage girl? Did we not all they're not arguing that
So
did
that's
not
what's
happen,
going on,
right?
okay.
What they're arguing is
Pretty
They're
much
both
for a cover
confused
up,
in
I
terms
guess.
of what's going on.
That's
Hey
crazy.
man, if y'all need help, watch my 45-minute video on this R. Kelly situation.
Not out the realm
I'll
of
break
possibility.
it all down.
But it's just
It's all there, bro. Now, R. Kelly, I believe he was charged once for that incident and he beat it. Even though we all know that was R. Kelly, we all know
check
that's
out
that
Poetic
sicko.
Flacco.
All right, so in actuality, bro, if R. Kelly dies in prison, tear, bro. All right, bro.
We know it was
kids told
Kelly.
me, like we
That
not
was Kelly.
rocking with you. However, I don't feel like it's productive for us to ignore the nefarious activities coming from prison officials, coming from the government. Because, we could separate this issue from R. Kelly. We could just look at this issue as the government is doing some foul things that's not right. The government
Yeah, that the government got
able
something going on now. Now, come on.
essentially
What Boosie say?
allow
Come on, dog.
correctional
Like,
officers
the government got
to
something going
steal
on. That's all
an
I'm
inmate's
saying.
information, sell it, then use that information
Right
to
on.
flip a
Right
witness,
on.
get the witness to testify against R. Kelly, and then for 4 years conceal the identity of the officers
Yeah,
who
and
access
just
R. Kelly
debo and do what
information.
they want because they
And then
got a
after
badge,
a
huh?
long legal battle, he finally gets access to who the officers were, what their names are, and how they got to access the information. But it's 13,000 pages, and he got to read through everything, or his attorneys got to read through everything. And before they could get through the 13,000 pages, they're trying to murder him.
And then shortly
We could
after
say
that,
the feds is bogus for that. But
They
we can
try to
also
wipe
acknowledge,
he
because
got
it's R.
leaked all
Kelly,
13,000 pages.
we don't care
Man,
what
listen.
happened to R.
Who?
Kelly. We just want to hold the feds accountable. And if there was a way for us to separate this issue, I would. But until there's a way to separate the issue, we essentially have to group it all together. Right? You essentially
If
have
they
to
live and
root
file.
for R.
You hear
Kelly's
me?
lawsuit against the feds if you want to hold the feds accountable. You can't really have it any other way. Right? So maybe R. Kelly could sue the feds, hold him accountable, and then get smoked in prison by another inmate. I don't know. Right? Maybe that's a happy medium for a couple of people. I don't know. But y'all let me know in the comment section, man. What do you guys think about this, all right? Do y'all believe that
If he
R.
can
Kelly
prove it.
deserves
If
justice?
he can prove that,
Or do
you
you feel
know.
like once you commit those charges, bruh, ain't no justice for you? Let me know, okay? And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out.
Man, please. He probably on his way up out of here. What are we doing? I'm just saying, if it is the feds, hold them accountable. But after Kelly's charges, who's really gonna bat an eye? Is he the king of R&B? Yes. Is he right where he's supposed to be? Absolutely. Should the feds just cook up something to kill him because he got a hold of 13,000 whatever? No. Huh? The man ain't getting out till like 2045. Man, I think he on his way out the door. And that's just me keeping it a buck with you. I think that man on his way out the door. Ooh, he's sad.